How about now? Better? Or here? Can you hear me now? Yes, no, good? Wait. Yep. Okay, good. Goody. So, as I was saying, well, I saw somebody on TikTok, a preacher. Nothing wrong with it. That's his faith, and he has a right to do so. But when you weaponize your belief system to the point where you become a mad prophet, and it blinds you, and it literally possesses you, that you can't even see a human being in front of you, and you pretty much go, it has to be by what the book says. Okay. Well, the thing is, that's not exactly how the book is. It's altered so much. Besides, we don't even know which is the real one. So many versions, so many interpretations. So, you want to be technical. The Old Testament, you're not even supposed to even use it as a reference for anything or live by it, because when the New Testament came in, it annulled it. So, and there for historical reasons. But I'll have this play in the background because I mean, some parts. I mean, I was even close to saying I actually really admire somebody preaching their perspective and being so confident into it. But the minute that he was starting to say, like, well, homosexuals, they don't have a place in heaven. Cupcake said, I would love to know where you got your BS degree, biblical studies. That is a real degree, by the way. Your BS degree, because you sound like you don't got it, or you got it off a, you know, one of those stock image websites. Let me see your BS degree. You don't have one? He probably doesn't. Then you really don't have any form of credibility to talk about your BS. Don't look at me, that's what it is. Biblical science, a BS degree. Anyway. I'm preaching about the Lord, not like these stupid pastors. Today, me and my wife went to Jamaica. Oh my Lord, it was so awesome. Amen. And the time and the audio, amen. And they be up in their conversation like 30 minutes. And the awesome thing about the trip to Jamaica was we was able to preach the gospel to the workers and to people that we encounter. God is so amazing. That's the point. Amen. That's the point. That's the point. Like, for one, I didn't come to church to hear about justification. Two, I don't care who is Jamaica. I don't give a damn. I came to church to hear what Jesus is going to do and what he's saying to us. But y'all like them preachers that tell you about the lifestyle, the vacations, the stupid church functions. Y'all love that. Y'all love that. I don't care about the stupid functions. I care about what is the Bible telling me I got to do to get right to get into heaven. If I don't get right, then the consequences will be hell. I want to know that. Let me know that my life ain't as I think it is. Let me know that the life that I live, I don't live for myself. I live for the Lord. Amen? No. Facts? With it. So, I'm going to let you know, that's what I'm doing, my man. With it. When I'm preaching to y'all, it's Bible. No, it's not. It's malefic, painful, destructive, hypocritical. And I know it's hard for some of y'all to receive this. No, because you're narcissistic. A lot of you guys are so used to fake preaching that it's hard for you to say the truth because all your life you've been taught lies. I get it. Well, here's the thing. That right there, that is a literal he who font. Notice me, I am a guru. Listen to me. If you don't, you're going to hell. That is a literal he who font. I'm not even kidding. When you think you have the right to tell people the way that they express their perspective of their faith and say that it's wrong, well, Cupcake, you don't have the right to say that. Because somebody else's perspective of a faith that is the same as yours, you don't have that right. And here's the thing. Coming from even like from their perspective. So tell me this then. Why are you swinging at your own family? By family meaning that they believe essentially every person is of his children. Okay. So why are you swinging at your own family?
Whose side are you on? Why are you going to swing at your own? Use your head. Because, I mean, the minute that you start putting down other people just because it's not exactly the same way you do, you're not at all. You're not using your faith as it should be used to better yourself and to be an inspiration and to help guide other people if they're in the same faith or to provide some form of spiritual support. That's not spiritual support. No, it's not. And essentially, when you have your faith completely possess and blind you, you become like a mad prophet, saying something like the doomsday stuff. And the whole thing is, it's not that it's too hard for us to hear because we've been told the wrong thing. It's not that. It's because you're stupid and you're not using the pure intent of it. You're using it in a way to cause harm, which is the complete, absolute wrong way it is to use the faith. That's not how you're supposed to use it. You're not supposed to be causing havoc, breaking down people, and pretty much completely tearing people apart. And if somebody wants to go to Jamaica to do like a mission trip, as you know, that's essentially what they usually do. Nothing wrong with it, but they have to make sure that they're not going to a place like India where it's outlawed. It's outlawed in India, but still. So what if they go to another country and they share their viewpoint with others? That's the point of a philosophical discussion, and actually, heck, that's how you open the doorway for other perspectives to come together and you actually understand divinity much more. Because when you have different cultures and different belief systems and other faiths all come together, divinity gets more and more clear. But what do I know? I don't have a BS degree. I don't have a biblical studies degree. I don't know what I'm talking about. But that's none of my business. But that is not at all. And another thing. Who are you to tell me where I'm going to be going when I kick the bucket? You don't have that right to say where I'm going. And neither does Yahweh. I have the choice. But how though? Do you believe in him? Yeah, he exists. Is he your Lord and Savior? Well, he had his chance, but he whiffed it. Okay, don't look at me. Don't look at me. I mean, when I was about to have myself kick the bucket by taking my own life, he didn't come in. Hell did. That's why I gave my devotion to her. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. Oh, and he didn't even do anything. Oh no, he's going to take his life. Just have faith, everything will be better. No. Hell actually came and said, "Get up!" And that's. I don't even know what to say because when you have a divine being actually do what another being is claiming that he's going to do and he loves and accepts, but doesn't do anything and just say, "I'll always do this." No, you won't. Prove it. Still haven't done it. Hell, instantly. And a lot of people have even said, and to me, when people say something like this, it's just like, who are you to tell me that I didn't almost kill myself? I think I would kind of remember it because it's a traumatic experience. You telling me that it didn't happen? Well, guess what? You don't exist to me, and hopefully you'll fall off the face of the earth. Just go into space and just get exploded. Invalidating somebody's drastic, traumatic point like that, and whatever happens, guess what? You weren't there, so you can't say so. Can't say shit. If you think it's made up, that's cute, but sorry. when people don't know how to listen and actually understand the point. Because I'm not flaunting it around, but like, yep, I'm a survivor. I will survive. No, that's beyond the point. The point is that actually having a being stick up for me when I couldn't do it myself, and I wouldn't do it for myself. It also prevented so much damage from happening. That's the point. Not to flaunt around, and be like, I survived. I survived. No, that's not the point. Because going back to the point, because I was about to go on a tangent again. Nobody has the right to tell you or anybody where they're going to go when they kick the bucket. And nobody. Yahweh can't even make the choice. Only you can make the choice. You decide where you go afterwards into the afterlife. You make the choice. No one else can. No divine can, no spirit can, none of them. And the beautiful thing about heaven, or paradise, or what's also known as paradiso, this is big. Paradiso or paradise, only you can say how it is because it's yours. Your paradise, your heaven. Only you can decide what that is. And what is said in like any other belief system, faith, or viewpoint, it's not yours because you didn't make it. Because going over now to incorporate Hindi mythology about why the Asuras, demons, oh my gosh, demons, oh, time to bamboozle you. Demons are Asuras, which are human beings. Bamboozled. So don't be thinking that demons are bad because humans are bad. So, oops. Mormon theology about the idea of the self viewpoint of paradise. Was it that? Because I mean, I don't know anything about Mormonism, so I have nothing to be honest about that. Oh, regarding heaven. Oh, good. Okay. Now, that part I can agree with. Though the idea of I just I kind of, but then again, this is not really the point for me to just say like my views about somebody else's faith. But when you use it in a destructive way, then no. But yeah, no. Your life is your life to live. Yes, and whatever choices you do make, regardless good or bad, whatever the outcome comes next, you're at fault. Always. Whatever you choose to do, whatever comes next to the head, you're to blame because you made the choice to have that come about. However, with one's viewpoint of their paradise, yeah. Paradise, again, is completely opinionated because what may be paradise to someone may not be paradise to somebody else. Let's do a really great example. Let's use Helheim, essentially where the Norse passed on go that were not deemed, that were killed in a, I don't even like saying it because it's just like, really? We're not killed in a glorious way or an honorable death. Well, the thing is, if you lived your life to the fullest to old age, and if you pass away naturally, you did pass away honorably because you lived your whole life. Huh. Denmark. Oh, I got a notification. I'm going to get this thing out of my way. Yeah. I don't care, Windows Update. You can go ahead and piss it and stick it. Get out of the way. No, you're not going to restart the computer in the next 5 minutes. Go away. Bad computer. And actually, speaking of that, John, here, let me, I think, I don't know if you've seen this before, but let me show you something that probably is going to make you go, oh my, yeah. I'm going to just hold that very still. Yep, and this is actually a handmade little figurine of her. Yes. And believe it or not, of all the divines that at least, have been noted, and a lot of other people say it too, she is even way more accepting than Yahweh and, any of the Abrahamic faiths say that he's accepting. She can literally outdo him. No contest. Absolutely no contest. Because unlike him, she accepts everyone. Everyone. While for him, well, you have to do this, or nope, I'm not taking you in. That's childish. With her, she keeps it simple. Yeah, she likes to keep it simple, and I love it when she keeps it simple. You're human? Good enough for me. You come in. Oh, you made a lot of, you took a lot of lives? Good. And I think, wasn't there like one way to pronounce her name? Halyo? Halyo? Or something like that? I believe it was Halyo. And also, of course, the second Hell, not the original Hell. And that's another fun fact about her. Because the Hell that we are familiar with is not the first one. If you're familiar with the Norse divine Mimir, Mimir, he was actually the husband figure to the original Hell, Mimir. The original Hell, yes. But the original Hell retired. And in comparison, the first Hell is nowhere as near as devoted and committed to providing servitude to the dead than our current one. And what's even more kind of a little bit head scratching, if you're going to be taking something of another belief system, especially if it's a divine name, Hell or Helheim, just don't, because Hell means, or its intended translation is that what is veiled, that is what's covered, that what is underground, what is kept below in the dark, or what is not seen in light. So if you're going, if somebody was to tell me, oh yeah, we're just going to go to hell. Well, no shit. What, are you new here? Since you're new here, let's go take a grand tour. So if you notice over here, yeah, this is hell. That's her name, by the way. Of course I'm going to go to her because, I kind of devoted to her. And since I devoted to her, well, yep, and I'm choosing to actually go to her realm when I kick the bucket to actually help her out, take care of her people. I'm choosing to do that because I feel since she came in and stopped me from ending my life prematurely, I feel like I have to give servitude back. Because, she didn't have to do it. She made the choice to come in and say, get up. So it's just fair, equitable exchange. And she's the only one that's doing it. Taking care of all of those dead. I do. I have ancestry from, I'm trying to remember all of them. I have English, Scottish. Lass, you better be careful or Nancy's going to go up your kilt. Oh, and he's going to take a bite of your slither. And watch out for the bagpipe. She really likes to go ank with them. I'll cover you in mucus. Get your stinking off me tractor. Groundskeeper Raleigh. I'm Scottish, English, and also, well, I mean, I don't know if this actually counts. I also have. Okay, this is going to be really awkward for me to do because it's just like too close. But then again, it's just awkward, at least from wrong. But if you also see the cupcake, come on now, stop doing that. Yeah, also the blue eyes. And actually, my hair is supposed to be a natural blonde, but I color it for no. I'm just, to be completely honest, it is what it is. It just so happens that when I hit the new game button and where the planets landed, it's like, well, here's how the kid's gonna look. Oh well. Okay, looks like I came out at the right time then. Oh, Saturn's drunk? Good. In Aquarius? Oh, perfect. With my moon? Yeah. On top of my ascendant? Oh boy. With Black Moon Lilith? Oh boy, Lord Lambda. So yeah, talk about having moon getting. Come on! Yeah. Though, oh. Also, I'm trying to even remember I just had all like in my head, all like my ancestry. Then that, yeah. So Germanic, especially on my mother's side, for grandfather's side, German, and you can most definitely know, especially with my great grandmother. Yeah, great grandmother June. I mean, I loved Grandma June. I absolutely loved her, but she was the type of woman who would say, "Why are you such a fucking dumbass? What do you think you think you're hot shit or something? Why? There's nothing more that I hate than some stupid shit on my front porch." Something to that effect. Like she is the one that's will tell you how it is and to the head. She says exactly how it is to her, and she doesn't care if feelings get hurt. She was tough, but for me, well, absolutely adored me. Mm-hmm. Um, so Germanic. I also have. I said Scottish already. I believe too, because I mean I'm not really close with my father's side to be honest. Do I do psychic readings without tarot? Well, when it comes to like that readings without the tarot, well, I also do astrology, and I also, well, I. But then again, when it comes to like having like a connecting to a certain entity, that's another option. But I can't just connect to any entity willy nilly because that takes a long time to actually invest with the entity and actually understand it. That's why it's also very difficult for me to also speak on behalf of somebody who passed away. Well, because I don't know them. And in order for me to even do anything close to that, I have to ask hell first. If she says no, then I don't. Because if I were to do something regarding the dead, if something goes wrong, I'm in hot water. I'm the one at fault. So if she gives me permission, she's aware, like, okay, if this dumbass messes up, well, at least I know it was him. Then just to go behind her back and just do it without being respectful. And even if she says yes and then they say no, I'm not doing it. I'm that strict. Um, I do. Well, I can most definitely also say while working with, while having held alongside almost 6 years now. Well, I there are so many times that she's actually come in and pushed people away. Like even driving on the highway, there was a red Dodge what was it? It was a kind of like a truck thing. No, it was a Chevy Tahoe that was. It wasn't red. I'm thinking about my uncle next door. His car. It was a green, rundown looking Tahoe, and it was like going the same speed as I was. Then for some reason, because I saw it on my passenger side mirror, that I saw that it was getting a little bit closer and closer, like it was trying to get into the lane where I'm at and run me off the road. Well, it was getting a bit too close, and I'm like, oh no, God, please don't. Then I was starting to turn a little bit to the left just to, you know, not get hit. And as soon as it was about to really get close to contact, and I mean, I was like saying, "What the fuck are you doing, you dumbass? You're gonna hit me! Stop! Stop! Stop!" Like right before it was about to make contact, literally the whole Tahoe just got shoved. Um, Telling about a person by seeing their username, well, again, it also depends on what you want to know because I can't just look at like a certain name and just think, okay, this person's name is he who humps most. Well, I mean, how am I supposed to know if it's not also like something generic, like saying, well, this person has cartwheel twat 24. Just an example, just to explain that having just one thing, yeah, like the Tahoe was about to make contact, and then I looked over after freaking out, and like the whole Tahoe, like literally just went, like it got like something just literally pushed it back. It like went a little bit, like the tires went up a little bit, and then went back down, and it just went go. Yeah, because yeah, and even then too, when you have somebody do that, speak stuff like that, and trying to say that reading your energies just because of a username, they're trying so hard. They're really trying to be desperate to pretty much make you become uncomfortable and try to say things like, "Well, based on your username, I know you're like this," and now it's going to make you have your guard get down, and then you be thinking, "Why did this person say this?" You're going to be having your thoughts become completely blind, and they're going to keep feeding stuff into you to make your defenses go down. That's what they're really doing, but they're not going to fully say it. They're weakening your logical thinking process. Like, what the heck is this person doing? And saying more stuff, and then that gets into your mind, and you start thinking it, and subconsciously, it's unresolved because it's not figured out, so it just lingers, and that actually makes your ability to reason and think clearly. It starts corroding it. I know if that makes sense. Well, the thing is, in a picture, no, because the thing is, some people can, but at least for me, when I see somebody in a picture, how they are in that moment is stuck. Their energetic level is like frozen. And there are some people too that can actually, well, this is what makes me really agitated. Some people can actually do something known as like a spirit, like a like a spiritual exorcism, or like an astral exorcism. Cupcake. How are you going to be doing an astral exorcism? Because the thing is, you have to literally be on the plane and actually. How do you know you're doing an astral exorcism? Mind that, on someone, and how do you know that you've actually projected to them, or even astral travel to them? Mm-hmm. It's Well, the thing is, if you want to keep it down at the very fundamental level, all of us, by technicality, are a fragment of one bigger picture, very small fragment. So we're all connected in that regard at the core of it all. But the thing is, each part of this bigger picture, as an analogy, each part is unique because you can only see through these eyes and use this mind and in this incarnation. As it said with Hindi, everything is a Vishnu and all is Vishnu. All is Vishnu, everything is Vishnu. And if that makes sense. But the thing is, the minute that you start asking, like for example, the moment that you have the idea of like not saying something is going to be not accurate, it actually primes the mind and the viewpoint to actually start seeing the flaws in it, because you're setting yourself up to only see flaws. And when you're restricting the ability of having the potentiality to come from it, you're also restricting your ability to have that understanding of it. Because the way that the astral and the spirit work, when you're open to it, it'll flow naturally. When you close off, it'll completely close itself off to you. I know. It's a subject that some people love to make it extremely complicated. But the thing is, the more complicated you make it, the more of a headache you're going to get. That's why even some of the sages and the real gurus say, keep it simple. The more simple you have it, the less of a headache you're going to have. And I'm not a guru. I'm no guru. Now here's when you're connecting to a certain entity, you also have to understand. Yeah. When you have somebody trying to attempt to connect to a certain entity, now here's the thing. Are they connecting to the true entity as it is? Or are they just connecting to a part of an entity that is really a man-made version of it, which is not including the both the sides of something being the positive and negative aspects to it. For example, actually the best example, in the Abrahamic faith, you see Satanas, deemed the adversary, the most malefic. That is not at all true Satanas as he is. That is a man-made construct of him. Yes, man-made beings like that, they're not the legit thing. In fact, the ideas of having exorcisms be done of someone that's in, say, like the practice of doing exorcisms for like Catholics, if that makes like the Catholicism way of exorcism. Well, the thing is, what if I was to tell you that the reason why all those exorcists seem to work is because the beings that they are exorcising, they put on the people. That would have to be my mentor, who's actually passed away in 2019. But the thing is, the beings that are regularly exorcised by the church, they're purposely put on the people. And of course, what they're doing is going to work to get those beings off, because the church made them. No wonder it's going to work. But now say we're going to say trying to do an exorcist on Lilith, like exorcise Lilith, like true Lilith. That's don't even attempt. Do not even attempt. Because immediately you try to exorcise Lilith, immediately she's just going to remind you that, who do you think you're going to tell me to leave? You're just so cute. Do you want to end up like what happened with Adam? Trust me, love. Just don't. Besides, who are you to tell me I need to get some exercise? What about you? Get off your ass. Typical men. Well, if you were paying attention, it just happened. And how the real entity at the core will actually display both the positive and the negative, while the one that is man-made will only chaotically swing one way. For example, construct Lilith is actually the stereotypical, I don't even like using this word, the stereotypical fits. And no. Seth, or like the Egyptian god Seth, because true Lilith at the core, it is what it is. She has that aspect, but that's not her foundation. Because the thing is, if you're going to be something like that, pay attention. If you're going to be something like this, if you're going to be something like that, I have to rely on someone for that. Do you think I need to rely on someone? Really? No. I don't need no one but me. Trust me. Because heck, why do I need something in order to make myself feel full? I just need myself. And I mean, if I was to rely on someone, no. I don't need to have big fathered for anything. Trust me. You should have seen when he was like, you better submit. And I'm just like, hey Adam, watch this. No. Stupid old man. And also, Buddha is Mercury, the planet Mercury. And I haven't interacted with Seth, so I can't really say. That's really the honest thing. But essentially, what just happened, that was actually how a connection happens. But when you connect to a man-made thing, it's going to be completely chaotic. It's going to feel really off. Because there's another video on my channel called True Lilith versus Construct Lilith, and I go through the complete differences between the two. Well, I don't know. I kind of don't think, I would want to have somebody talk about, talk about me in a way that's kind of like, really? You're just mad because you're not getting your, thing between your legs gripped. Woe is Adam. Oh, the horror. I don't have, anyone to help grip it. Now what am I going to do? Woe is you. You think I'm going to want somebody to speak to me like that? I mean, it's funny, but no, love. I don't want anybody to speak to me about that. Besides, some people think it's okay to call me that. Really? Do you think just because I don't care what you call me, you still think it's okay to do it? That just shows how you are, really. But for Lilith, the thought form of her only connects to the stereotypical baneful side of her. Only. What she's demonized for and claimed to do. Her true form is empowerment of the self first, over everything else. From empowerment, she then does what she wants. Yes. And a maven of seduction. Maven. And the word maven is one who literally is near flawless. In fact, probably most likely mastered a certain ability or skill. And seduction isn't suggestive. It's able to tease and toy with the mind to have it become running rampant. And seduction doesn't have to be vulgar. And seduction is also meant to be intoxicating, like make your perspective go from one way to another. I'm just so intoxicated in what she did to my mind, I can't even think clearly. That's being intoxicated. I can think clearly. Wait, maybe she meant this, but did she wait? Well, she said it like this, and the energy felt like this. I don't know. That is intoxication, and that's also part of seduction. You intoxicate the mind. And speaking of intoxication, that's actually, let's do one trivia question because why not? I love doing trivia. Let's see here. I'll give you a multiple choice question. Let's see if you can guess it. Which planet controls intoxication? And by planet, I'm also including Sun and the Moon. Which planet controls intoxication? Number 1, Moon. Number 2, Neptune. Number 3, Venus. Number 4, Rahu, or the north node of the moon. Is it Moon, Neptune, Venus, or Rahu, the north node of the moon? Do. Well, okay, we have 1 for Venus, 2 for Venus. We have 1 for Moon, which makes 1 for Moon, and then 2 for Venus. Mm-hmm. That is correct. If you said Neptune, well, nobody said Neptune, but Neptune does have that quality, yes. But Neptune is also deception, being kind of romanticism, like medieval romance, which is fantasy, and it's also the spiritual connection. If you said Moon, it makes sense that it would be, but it does have the quality to make sense, because Moon is so sensitive that she can become intoxicated by anything outside of her, which makes sense, but she doesn't have the dominion over it. If you said Rahu, it's not Rahu. Yeah, Chandra. Well, Moon is the emotional. Chandra is the most lustful. And there's a difference between Chandra and Moon. Chandra, Chandra, when the moon is full to going to wane, like waning, that's Chandra, extremely lustful and all worldly. From no moon to full, that's the sattvic. Well, the thing is, if Bhuta, well, in the Vedic texts, Mercury is actually named Bhuta. That's his name, Bhuta. Ketu is honestly a dim-witted. Yes, the answer is Venus, and I'll explain in a second. Ketu is a dim-witted graha. He's dim-witted because he doesn't have a head. How can the Buddha figure be dim-witted? And also, Ketu also can be seen to represent terrorist attacks, destruction, and pretty much ripping things apart, and just going at something and just ripping it and then meh with it. Meh. Bhuta, I can understand the spiritual aspect because that definitely fits. They're the same. Rahu and Ketu are the same. They are the exact same thing. The exact same. But for Venus, why is Venus intoxication? Well, what happens when you fall in love? Intoxicated. What happens when you are comfortable? You're intoxicated. What happens when you're expressing creativity and allowing it to flow? You're intoxicated and you're in a flow state. Hello, Mika. Haven't seen you in a while. And for extra credit, what is the highest form of Venus's quality? What is the highest point of Venus? What happens when you what is the highest pretty much what is the highest quality of Venus being put into action? The highest point. Does anybody know what the highest state of incorporating Venus is? The highest state, meaning that it's not like arts, woo. What is the highest state? What is the number one thing Venus wants to do? And because of this, Venus is phenomenally stronger than Jupiter. Rahu represents the ghosts. Ketu represents poltergeists. The Graha that has dominion over the occult, believe it or not, you might be thinking, huh? The one who has dominion of the occult sciences? Venus. She has dominion over that. Next in line, Shani, Saturn. Occult is all the way out there in the dark. Venus is the guru that knows more than Jupiter. That's a good one, Kayla. The Venus. The highest quality of Venus is devotion. And devotion to something is essentially you're giving your full self to something. And the thing with full devotion, that's also addiction. That's why addiction and those that are addicts are essentially ruled by Venus, because addicts devote. The father of Venus, by technicality, you could say Lord Shiva. By technicality. No. Addiction is not malefic. When you think addiction is malefic or toxic, no. Addiction is devotion. It's just another word. Scorpio, the one that's like possessive, that's devotion, commitment. When you devote to something, you commit, you stick with it. Like with the story of Lord Krishna and Radha. Radha was so devoted to Lord Krishna, it was mind-boggling. But Lord Krishna went off, and she kept her devotion. Radha was known for her intense devotion that she even had Anuradha, the nakshatra in Scorpio, named after her. And it's also owned by Saturn. Saturn is the only Graha planet that knows how to stick and refuse to let anything budge him. Because he's up. Well, K2 is more detached. Pluto is a little shithead. He's just a little shithead. Think of like the little runt that comes in and he knows like the younger sibling that's like, hey, and I'll answer your question in a second, Nico. Think of Pluto like the little, like your younger sibling who wants to hang out with you because you're the bigger sibling and it's cool to hang out with big brother or big sister. And when your younger sibling tags along and you're hanging out with your friends and like say if you're doing skateboarding, whatever, and then your younger sibling goes, hey guys, I bet you I can skateboard like you guys can, or even better. Then you'd say, don't get on the skateboard, Pluto, don't do it. But he doesn't listen. He gets on the skateboard, he goes up the half pipe, completely whiffs it, flies off the board, does a few flips and lands head first on the cement. And he just starts screaming bloody murder, terror. Screaming, "Mom!" and just complete like an overkill tower moment. That is Pluto. It comes like, oh my lord, Lanta. And it causes a big scene. And you're like, stop, Pluto, please. Shh. Don't, no. Stop screaming, stop yelling. Then mom comes and sees, oh, what the happened? Then it's like, oh god. It's a destruction that is traumatizing and terrifying. But it does have the dignified aspects too, meaning that it is a intense commitment too that has the potential. But Pluto is more destructive. And Shikachara Guru is more than just a graha. Because actually, Shukracharya Guru is a real being. And I mean, I'll just make this known. Venus is my Atmakaraka, my Yogacaraka, and is probably the most potent planet that I have. Because for my D1 or my regular birth chart, she goes from Moltricone Libra in the 9th into getting Digbala and Exaltation in the Navamsha and being in keeping the Atmakaraka title. So Venus for me is like a very potent planet, going from comfortable own sign to exaltation with directional strength. So it's just like, holy crap, that's potent. You have Lord Shani. Well, because Lord Shani is essentially anything that is any elderly figure, any being that makes you extremely uncomfortable, or any being that is like extremely cold and strict and demands your best. And ironically, Shani is the planet that cares the most about you. Shani cares about you so much that he'll say, actually, I even got the Shani stick. I haven't used this in a while. Saturn is the only planet that cares about you so much that he'll come and go, hey, stop! Stop being an idiot, you stupid brat. Oh. Next time it'll be that thing between your legs I'll hit. Don't make me do it. So stop being dumb. He cares about you that much that he'll do that. He's not doing it to be mean. He's doing it because he gives a shit. And when you give a shit back and you do listen to him, and if you actually do put out your best effort, he actually rewards you. I can attest to it. Goddess Kali, yes, is of Saturn, yes. Well, Venus is the only planet, the only one, just like hell, that accepts any human being that wants to learn from her. And I say her because that's the most familiar thing with her. That we talk when we hear Venus, we think it's feminine, because it is a feminine planet. But Venus, here's another one. Of all the planets, Venus is the only one that can make the dead come back to life. The only one. Well, Hecate is more lunar, but since Venus does have dominion over women, yes. But Moon is the divine luminary feminine. But again, if you want to be technical, when you look over to say Shinto or Japanese mythology, you actually have Amaterasu and Tsunoge backwards. You have the Amaterasu being the goddess of the rising sun, which is Surya. Because Venus was actually born in the sign of a cult, Scorpio. That's the sign she was born in, especially in Jeshta, the nakshatra owned by Avalakshmi. Avalakshmi, isn't that like the opposite of Lakshmi? Mm-hmm. And Venus, again, knows so much more than Jupiter. Jupiter can't raise the dead. Venus can raise the dead. And not to mention, too, when it comes to learning between the two gurus, Venus actually gets you to the exit, moksha, in a way that you have no opposition. Nothing can stop you because Venus asks you, what is it that you want? Tell me, but be specific. I don't want to take a guess and you don't like it. Be specific. Tell me when, how, what color, all of it. When you have your desires being given to you and granted, you'll have all the things you want to experience be finished, that all you have left is beyond the world to experience and want. So when you go to Venus, and this is big, when you have Venus give you all the desires, and then you ask Venus, I want to experience something higher than this world, something that can't be experienced here. Even though Venus wants you to stay and enjoy every moment you can, if you want to experience something higher than the world, Venus will actually take you to the exit and give you that desire, because that's a desire. Venus wants your desires to be fulfilled. So she makes the choice to take you to where you can get that desire met. Even if it's not in this realm where she has dominion over, she will take you to it. Jupiter won't do that. Venus will take you and give you all the desires and help you even escape the place, because that's what you want. And that sacrifice of Venus's want to experience the world and enjoy it, she's willing to sacrifice that desire of her own for you to experience what you want. That's big. That is huge. And that's how you should be. And that's why also the idea with Anton LaVey, the way that he said, allow yourself to experience those urges, that is Shukracharya speaking, because those are desires. When you have them be met, you don't have them anymore. They're fulfilled. When you have your desires fulfilled, you don't have anything stopping you from getting to divinity. You don't have anything stopping you. But we go with Brihaspati, the guru of the devas, the divine, nothing wrong with him. He is a really vital guru. He is. But with going to Brihaspati, he will make you cry, bleed, suffer to get divinity. But while you're suffering and going towards divinity, you still have desires of the world. So you get diverted. Venus, clean sweep. And also, fun fact, Anton LaVey also had Shani and Venus sitting with Rahu, with Digbala, essentially telling Rahu, okay, Rahu, this is how you can get what you're wanting. Rahu looks over at Shani with his ninth aspect and goes for it. So essentially, what he strives for goes up to essentially Saturn in the, I believe that was in the, yeah, that would be Shani in the 12th, having the obsessive going for it and pretty much making sure the highest purpose, because that's the ninth aspect of Rahu. Rahu gets the order from Venus to pursue where essentially his karma's at, to essentially have something stand and be victorious in it that will stand the test of time. And also his Saturn was in Capricorn in the part of, not Shravana, but Uttarashada, right in the Abhijit point. So he put in the work and he provided something for mankind, so it sticks. It sticks. Because he actually, I don't know if he even knew astrology or not, but because of how he laid the foundation for the satanic faith, it sticks. It's stuck. You cannot deny that. It has stuck. That's what happens when you have Shani in Abhijit. Venus in the 8th house actually shows the Morning Star and Venus relation. Morning Star, that's Lucifer guru. And funny enough, Lucifer and Shukracharya are near identical. Near identical. In fact, with Lucifer's great fall, I bet you didn't know this one. That is actually referring to the great dip Venus takes. The great dip is when Venus goes behind the sun, completely absent from view. You cannot see it. Only weeks later, then to come out from behind it reborn. Let's see here. Lucifer was casted out, left to die, only to vow that he will rise up and come back and rise again. Venus goes behind the sun. Lucifer is left to die. He vows to return again. Weeks later, emerges, comes up. How to delve into someone's mind? It's quite simple. There's actually, if you look up a video called something from Foolish Fish, which is his mind exercise, which has you speak to a certain aspect of yourself, say, and he even actually has the video and actually does it with you. So that's the best way to actually delve into your own mind. That's the best way to do it. But Venus, yeah, and I mean, I'm going to just say it. His video about the analysis of the Iliad, I mean, listening to him read it and also explain it, I mean, I just had to say, you just gave me so much nostalgia. I feel like I'm back in sophomore English. You have no idea how much, I miss this feeling of, I miss my high school years. I miss being a sophomore because I read the Odyssey then, but still. But yes, Venus goes behind the sun, the great dip, left to die. Then it comes back again. That's also how Venus also can raise the dead. And it's also said too, Lucifer, when he speaks, it's like if honey is talking to you. And also Lucifer is the enlightened one, the one who bestows enlightenment. Venus, Shukracharya, is the guru to the demons, the people. He bestows enlightenment. Guru, what is the point of a guru? To bestow enlightenment and guide you. I mean, I'm just saying. That's why I even say Lucifer and Shukracharya are near identical. Both are a guru. And the thing is, Christ, speaking of that, some people say that it was actually Lucifer. I can't agree with that, honestly. Because the thing is, and actually, the symbol of enlightenment, the sun behind the head, that's what happens when you have sun in the first house. The sun, you're putting the sun in somebody's head. That's the sun in the first house. That's the enlightened symbol. When you have a sun behind somebody's head, yeah, that's it. But now the thing, well, Well, the thing is, for me, I can't really say Nico, because if I was to do that, and being really close with Hel, the Norse goddess, she would probably say, "The fuck are you doing? Why are you disturbing them? Don't do that shit." Yeah, that I have to be. I'm really careful in regards to anything to do with the dead, because I have like a strict procedure whenever I do anything towards them. Like, it has to be done the same way. It's no nonsense. Well, I'll tell you this much. A lot of people think Mr. Crowley was just crazy and insane in the head. On the surface, of course, but in the mind, brilliant. His mind, his thoughts, despite what he was doing in practice, might have been a little bit, but his mind was brilliant. When you actually look at it for what it is, and I think he was using intoxicants, he was doing a lot of nasty things. He was like Chris Farley, but 50 times more, living life hard. Hi, Miss Sarah. Um, Surya is the largest Graha, the largest planet, but Shani is stronger than the sun because Shani, when Shani was born, Surya the sun was like, "Oh, let me see my newborn Chaya." Black, completely blinded him, eclipsed him, because Chaya is actually Shani's mother. Well, you're well, Uranus. Uranus is chaotic. But when it comes to power, well, Shani can actually restrict and detain. Uranus can't. Because Shani actually understands when to, end and stop. Uranus, surprise, or just. Sometimes the best way I like to say it is like, think of like each planet as like a part of the court. Shani, yep. Well, Uranus and Shani are both rebellious. But when it comes to Uranus, he's rebellious like, I'm the court jester. You think I'm going to listen to you? Jackass. Like, he's the one that would come to like the royal feast looking like a Lady Gaga reject. And then the next day he comes in looking like a town hooch. The next day he comes in like in his normal attire. He comes back, he looked like he just, he looked like he comes in wearing high heels that are painted black with red dots. He's wearing a biker jacket and he's wearing a mankini. And he has one pair, like a monocle on one eye, and he has his tongue sticking out on the other saying, "Hey guys, that's Uranus. That's Uranus. Uranus. He's extremely chaotic. You have no idea what he's going to do. But he's innovative." And Uranus and Rahu are almost identical. Except Rahu is overkilling stuff. When Rahu gets a hold of a planet besides Venus and Guru Brihaspati, Rahu overkills him. Well, I like to think of Uranus as like that strange uncle. That's like, "Hi uncle, how you doing?" "I'm good." Next family dinner. "Oh, you look spiffy. Why are you dressed up in a suit and tie?" Just felt like it." Next uncle, next family gathering. "Uncle, why do you look like you just came back from a pride parade?" "What? I'm just happy." That's Uranus, completely chaotic, unpredictable. Then there's Neptune. I like to think of Neptune as like the court sorceress that wants to woozy woo you and make you think, "Oh, just sounds so dreamy." And Neptune likes to make you think the romantic woozy woo fantasy thoughts like, maybe, maybe there is a time where I will let my hair down for someone to climb up it. Maybe there might be that one day. But the thing is, when you allow that to get too far, whoopsie doopsie, you actually, lose your grip of reality. Because Neptune can, at the most, like the farthest, darkest point, Neptune can afflict psychological disorders if it's really being in a destructive placement. Neptune can afflict that. Yeah, so I mean, technically, Fiona, you can say that. Well, you could say that he's the one that blew it first. What? It's funny. Like, yeah, well, Uranus is the one who blew it first. Yep, he who blows it most. The first blow, the first guy. I mean, the first primordial who blew it. Get it? Because Uranus is windy. Blew it. Well, I mean, he did, get his off with his head. Well, that happened. When you put Saturn in the first house, I have Saturn in the first. And honestly, Saturn's like, what am I doing on this throne? Why am I in this physical body? Why? Oh, son of a... Damn it. Okay, so what do I do on this throne chair thing of this person? Hi everybody. Why are you all looking at me? Stop looking! What? I can't even get up to do anything. People do things for me. No. I have to do my karmic stuff. I don't want to just sit here and say, hey, you. Yeah, you. What are you again? Maid. Like old maid? I can't even tell her to do anything because I'm the servant. I don't know what to do on this. Gosh, I hate this throne thing. Oh, God. This is where, that stupid flamer guy belongs. Yeah, that son. Oh, God, that flamer. You see? I don't like being in this big, fancy, woozy chair. It feels just fake. That's Saturn in a nutshell. But Saturn in the first, if Saturn's in a good dignity, because I have Saturn in Aquarius for Western and Capricorn in Vedic. So either way, Saturn is like, this kid's mine. Nobody's going to take him. Okay, if you really want me that bad. Yes! Okay. I won't fight you. I won't fight him. But if Saturn's in the good dignity or in Taurus or Libra, even at that, because that's a really friendly planet, you have Saturn essentially bestowing the native essentially a slow aging process, extreme resistance to cold. They may look very, let's just say, they may appear in a way that may make them look like they're very easygoing and very dark, like darker in appearance, like they're kind of more in self-control, but they might appear like in a way that's a little bit like ugh and whatnot. No, not really. No, because you can get a spiritual spouse like with Ketu in the 7th, and also Saturn in the Lugna also makes somebody naturally when it comes to occult. You try and do any kind of magical or occult means to them. If Saturn is strong, naturally they exist and stuff bounces off them. Because again, what is Saturn with all those rings? And he also naturally deflects 33% of the light of the sun. So you try to hex somebody with a Saturn in the first that's strong and in his own sign and he's comfortable. You essentially have this in a nutshell. Oh, you're going to curse this one. Nope. Nope. Take your purse and just, stick your hand in it. Nope. 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 Mm-mm. Piss it. Oh, okay. Pitch it. Just deflect it right back. That's a friendly sign. And Rahu's exalted in Taurus. So, naturally, but just looking at that placement, just by what I see, occult means will actually be deflected from you. Because Saturn is with 2 friendly planets from his viewpoint, and he's in the sign of his best friend Venus. And actually, Saturn's also your lucky planet, Yokokarka. So Saturn is a big powerhouse for you. So to really get the full understanding of the chart for like the ascendant, I'll have to see where Venus is at. But the thing is, like I said, Saturn really strong for somebody in the first house. You cannot sway them. If they're going to stick to something, if they're going to say, I'm doing this, don't even bother to change their mind. You cannot influence them. You can try and manipulate them. It's going to be like, piss. Nope. I'm doing this. Oh, you rather me, do what you want? No. Damn bastard. Then, okay. And where's Moon at? Or Chandra, either one. I'm going to check something real quick. Oh, okay. And also, Moon does co-rule the sign of Taurus too, alongside Cancer. So essentially, you have. Well, then again, Moon is kind of lost in the 10th, even though it's the queen in front of the people. But Moon will behave as if she's in Cancer, because that's what Aquarius does naturally. Aquarius behaves like Cancer. Okay, well here, well, how about this? Do you feel kind of whenever you're involved? Okay, I'll give you one analysis question then. When it comes to other people, are you kind of detached from people who are somewhat, how do I put this? If somebody comes towards you in a way, mystery, if somebody comes out towards you in a way that's a little bit like suggestive or sexual, do you feel kind of a bit I've already done that and no, I'm not feeling it. Kind of meh with it. Or in some way do you kind of feel detached from people that are over dramatic like? Like if somebody was to make a really obvious, like a attractive woozy woo thing, like saying, "Did I mention it's mating season?" No, you didn't. And I'm not feeling it. Go away. Something like that. Oh, hey, cutie, what are you doing later? Not you. But just something similar to like that, because K2 is actually in the sign where he co-rules. So K2 is like other person being, trying to, poke me, meh with it. I've already done it. Why do I have to do it again? If I have to, fine. But no, I'd rather not. Meh with it. Beres Patias at Macargo. What degree is your ascendant at? Are you Kritika, Rohini, or Mixita? Like, what's the degree of your Lugna? Because depending on which Lugna it is, this is where it can get really crazy. Kritika, Rohini, or Mixita? And this is going to have to be like my last question because I have to be somewhere in 30 minutes. So I'll answer this last question, mystery, then I got to fly. The degree of the ascendant. Oh. These people that fly really low, can you not do that? Because what happens if you, have your fingers slipping and go. Well, it's natural. It's life. Mix it up. Okay. So pretty much mix it up. Lugna. Essentially, you always are on the move to find something. And mix it up is a Mars world. So either in life, you either might be very heavily pursuing something, and since Rahu and Mercury, well, mainly the Rahu and Mercury, and also Mercury has a Digbala, and also Mercury helping shunny out with, the Dick Ball actually helps Saturn get direction. You might be, whenever you have something that you want to pursue, just it's best for people just to get out of the way. Like, oh, I want this. Better just get out of his way. Just let him go for it. Don't get in his way. He wants to just scooch out of the way. Just get out of the way. Otherwise, he's gonna hit you like how Grandma got hit by that reindeer last year. Like Grandma got ran over by Well, there it goes. I'll have to go and grab that in pursuit. Hot pursuit. But also the same thing in reverse. It's either you have something that you really want and you endlessly pursue it, or it's the reverse. There's a big amount of things pursuing you or people pursuing you, and you're just like, nope, want nothing to do with it. Please, oh God, not fanboys and fangirls again. Stop. Please, we're your biggest fan. Yeah, okay. Who do I look like? Do I look like Bieber to you? Why don't you do with that thing he told? Well, actually, I don't think he even told his fans to do this. Why don't you do the same thing that his fans did for him? The snip for Bieber. Can you guys do that instead? So I don't have to put up with you. Dark, I know, but still, that's kind of like how it is. That extreme. It's either hot pursuit for something, or you're being the hot pursued one. Either or. But when you get what you're pursuing, it's like, this is it. But when you actually do give into the whole biggest fan thing, the ones that are actually acting like that kind of go, oh, you're, because that's just how the energy of the nakshatra is. Because it's the deer's head, and deer are very fickle and always on the move and always just paying attention to something. But anyway, I gotta take my leave because I have to be somewhere. So I'll come back on later today. So this was an interesting and fun live. So I'll see you guys later.